Hi, friends. It's Mrs. McCarver, and it's time for today's reading lesson. Now, for most of this week, we've been talking about nonfiction. And I don't know if you've noticed, but for the last few weeks, we've talked about one type of text, fiction or nonfiction, and then we've ended the week talking about poetry. Today, it's time to end our week, so we're going to talk about poetry again. And today, we're going to talk about how we can make our voice match the feelings or emotions in a poem. Last week, we heard a couple different poems and we listened really carefully for feeling words. I think we heard a poem about a rabbit who bit a beet, and there were words like cried in it, and that told us about the emotion. So let's look at a new poem today. I am going to make myself a little smaller, and you might know this poem. It's a nursery rhyme. It's called Jack and Jill. If you know it, sing along or recite the poem with me. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. I noticed that there weren't feeling words, but I could imagine the characters in my mind and how they were feeling. Let's listen to this poem again, and I want you to think about it, and I'm going to show you a picture that goes along. The first part of Jack and Jill says, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. That's the part of the poem in the green box. And look, here's Jack and here's Jill. Look at their faces. How do they feel about going to get that pail of water? They're smiling. I bet they're happy or excited. Now let's think about the last part of the poem. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Can you imagine right now how you feel when you fall down? And it says he broke his crown. That means he hurt his head. And then Jill fell down too. Look at the picture that goes with this part. Are they still feeling happy and excited? No, they're feeling upset, maybe hurt, mad, sad, all of those different feelings. So, we were learning that we can make our voice match the emotions. So, let's read this poem again and I'm going to try to change my voice to match the feelings or emotions. Remember, in the green, they were excited. In the red, they were sad or hurt. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. I'm feeling kind of bouncy. I'm excited. Then here comes the other part. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. I tried to change my voice a little bit to go down or sound kind of sad. Let's try again. Can you read it along with me this time? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. I'm even kind of smiling when I say it. Let's read our next part. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So, today, when you're thinking about poetry, I want you to remember you can change your voice a little bit to try to match the feelings. We do this when we're reading fiction books, but we can also do it when we're reading poetry. Sometimes we hear those words or see the pictures, and it helps us to understand the emotions. That can help us change our voice when we're reading a poem.